Hey friends, have you ever wondered why some people wake up every morning without even thinking of hitting snooze? They get their workout in, stay laser focused on their work, and slowly but surely turn every goal into reality. Meanwhile, others, despite trying again and again, struggle to stay consistent. Have you ever asked yourself, why can't I stay disciplined? Why is it that my motivation feels unstoppable on Monday, but by Wednesday it's completely gone? Why do I keep breaking the rules I set for myself? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. You want to do something big, make a change that starts from within. But every time you try, some invisible force pulls you back into the same comfort zone you're desperate to escape. Now just pause and really think about this. What if discipline isn't some rare talent? What if it's not a God-given gift that only a few people have? Then why is it that some people stay consistent, focused, and calm in the face of distractions? How do they keep turning their tiny daily actions into massive achievements? Is there a secret we're all missing? Here's the truth. Those people aren't from another planet. There's no magic in what they do. They don't have superpowers. They've simply understood one powerful idea. Discipline isn't about control. It's about freedom. Sounds strange at first, right? We're used to thinking of discipline as something restrictive, like a cage. But the reality is, discipline is the very thing that frees you. It's what unlocks the life you've always dreamed of living. Discipline is the promise you make to yourself and keep every single day, no matter how you feel. It's the quiet strength that carries you toward the version of yourself that still lives in your imagination. And in this video, we're going to walk through that journey, a journey unlike any other. It's the story of someone who kept failing, falling short again and again, but instead of giving up, they turned their life into a system. And through that system, they slowly became the person they always hoped to be. We'll dive into the small, almost invisible habits that go unnoticed in our daily lives. But these are the very habits that build the foundation for lasting transformation. You'll learn how to build discipline from scratch, how to maintain it through the ups and downs, and most importantly, how to make it a permanent part of your identity. Because if you're someone who keeps starting over, who feels like you're stuck in a loop, if there's a voice inside you whispering, "Enough is enough," then you're in the right place. Something needs to change, and that change starts now. This video isn't just a message, it's a mirror. A mirror showing you the person you're capable of becoming if you're willing to make space for discipline in your life. So get ready, because this isn't just about a book or a video. This could be the beginning of your new life. Chapter 1: The Power of Discipline. Let's begin with a simple observation. Ever notice how some people, who may not be the most talented or have all the resources, still manage to get far ahead in life? And others, who are smart, creative, and full of potential, somehow stay stuck? Maybe you've experienced this too. You find yourself stuck at a point, confused, wondering why things aren't moving forward. The real difference? It's discipline. Discipline is that quiet, invisible force. It doesn't shout, it doesn't create drama, but it works. It reshapes your entire life quietly, from the inside out. Most people think you need constant motivation or bursts of inspiration to succeed. But here's the thing. Motivation is like a wave. It rises and falls. It feels great when it's there, but it never sticks around for long. Discipline, though. Discipline is the anchor. It holds you steady when the storm hits. Ask yourself, does a world-class musician practice daily only when they feel inspired? Does an athlete train every single day only when they're in the mood? Do they wake up every day feeling super energetic and excited? Not at all. But they still get up. They practice. They push themselves forward. Why? Because they've made a decision, a clear, unwavering decision about who they want to become. And that decision is enough. See, discipline isn't just about working hard or grinding endlessly. It's about a choice. A daily choice to keep bringing yourself back to the right path, even when it's tough, uncomfortable, or downright exhausting. Discipline is reading a book at 11 p.m. instead of endlessly scrolling on your phone. It's choosing to step out of your comfort zone instead of settling deeper into it. It's not flashy. and it's definitely not easy. But it gives you something no shortcut in the world ever can. Real, lasting capability. It gives you trust in yourself, and something far more valuable than we often realize. Freedom. Yes, freedom. Because when you're disciplined, you take the wheel of your own life. You become the master of your choices. Your emotions don't drag you around, you guide them. You decide when to wake up, what to do, and how to respond to the world around you. Discipline protects you from the regret that comes from impulsive decisions. It builds a life of intention. That's why this first chapter reveals a powerful truth. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It's the foundation that every success story is built on. Without discipline, dreams remain nothing more than thoughts. But with discipline, thoughts turn into missions, and missions turn into results. So ask yourself, honestly, am I living like the person I want to be? Or am I simply wishing for change, only to keep sliding back into the same comfortable routines? If that question stirs something in you, even slightly, then it's time. It's time to start your journey into discipline. Chapter 2. Breaking the myth of motivation. Let's talk about something we've all experienced, those promises we make at the start of every new year. This year will be different, we say. We set goals, get fired up, and for a little while we actually believe we're about to change our lives. But then, slowly, we slip. Old habits creep back in. That fire inside us starts to dim, and before we know it, we're back to where we started. Why does this happen? Why does motivation feel so strong in the beginning, but fade so quickly when real life kicks in? We've been told over and over again, just get motivated and everything will be possible. But is that really the whole story? Is motivation really the secret sauce to success? Not quite. Motivation, as powerful as it feels in the moment, is just that, a feeling. When it hits, you feel unstoppable. The possibilities seem endless. But like all feelings, motivation fades. And when it does, when laziness creeps in, or when the first real challenge shows up, it disappears. And we find ourselves stuck, frustrated, and falling back into the same patterns. But here's the good news. Just because motivation fades doesn't mean success is out of reach. Just because the fire cools down doesn't mean the journey ends. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the power that keeps you moving forward after motivation runs out. It's what helps you show up even on the hard days, the boring days, the days you'd rather do anything else but work. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. It's the unwavering commitment you make to your goals. It's the trust you build in yourself, knowing that no matter the circumstance, you'll keep showing up and putting in the work. Motivation might leave you. But discipline? Discipline makes sure you never stop. Think about it. Why do some people hit the gym every day, even when they're tired, stressed, or busy? Why do some students study late into the night without waiting to feel inspired? It's not because they're always excited. It's because they've built habits, systems, routines that they stick to, regardless of emotion. These people aren't chasing motivation. They're fueled by something stronger, discipline. It's what keeps them consistent. It's what helps them succeed, even when no one's watching and nothing feels easy. Now that you understand motivation is just a temporary feeling, let me ask you, do you really think you need to keep chasing new inspiration every day? Do you honestly believe your success depends entirely on how often you feel motivated? Because if that's the case, you'll always be struggling. Motivation will come and go. It's not designed to stay. But if you build a life based on discipline, you won't need motivation. You'll already have a system in place that keeps pushing you forward, whether you feel inspired or not. And that's the entire message of Chapter 2. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a habit. The moment you make discipline a permanent part of your life, motivation becomes a bonus. It's nice when it shows up, but your progress no longer depends on it. So the next time motivation is missing, just say to yourself, that's okay, I've got discipline now. And discipline will take care of everything else. Because the people who rely on discipline They never stop. They show up every single day. Chapter 3. Understanding your why. Have you ever set a goal with excitement pouring out of you? Maybe it was a new habit, a new lifestyle change, or a big personal milestone. At first, you were on fire. The first few days felt amazing, but slowly something changed. The excitement faded, excuses started creeping in, distractions took over. Your determination slipped through your fingers. And you're left asking yourself, why can't I stick to this? The issue isn't your willpower. It's not that you're lazy or weak. The real problem is that you haven't answered the most important question of all. Why? Why do you want to wake up early? Why do you want to be consistent with your work or studies? Why do you want to become a better version of yourself? Until your why is deeply rooted inside you, no amount of routine or discipline will stick. Because your why is your fuel. It's what keeps your fire burning when your energy is gone. It's the anchor that holds you steady in life's storms. Without it, even the strongest systems will fall apart. And here's a hard truth. If your why is only to impress others or to compete with someone, it will vanish the moment things get tough. But if your why is born from within, from your pain, your dreams, your unshakable desires, it becomes something much more powerful. It becomes permanent. Let's go even deeper. Ask yourself, why do I really want this? What am I running from? What am I running toward? Discipline feels like torture until you know exactly what you're fighting for. That person who wakes up at 5 a.m., who grinds through fatigue, who keeps going even in silence, they don't do it because they read it in a book. They do it because there's a fire inside them, something so real that it won't let them stop. That's what gives discipline its strength. Chapter 3 teaches us a powerful lesson. If you want real, lasting discipline, you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Dig into your soul. Unearth the real reason behind your goals. Feel the emotions you've been avoiding. Think about the failures that still haunt you, the dreams you once had, but gave up on because of someone else's fear, the version of yourself that still lives inside you, quietly asking for a chance to come alive. Discipline is not a mechanical routine. It's not just waking up early and ticking off boxes. It's an emotional journey, a deeply personal transformation. And that kind of journey only begins with clarity. And clarity only comes when your why is crystal clear. So today, do this one simple thing. Take a notebook or open your notes app. Sit down and ask yourself, what is my why? Why do I want to start this journey? And when the answer comes, hold on to it. Read it every single day. Put it on your phone screen, write it on your wall. Let it become a part of your identity. Because once your why is strong, your discipline will never be weak. If you're still reading and you're first of your soul, because until your why is strong, your how will never be powerful. That's the life-changing message of Chapter 3. Clarity creates consistency. And the truth is, every person already holds a strong enough why within them, a reason that can fuel them through almost anything. So now the real question isn't, can you build discipline? The question is, have you found your why? Chapter 4. The Science of Self-Control. Let's be honest. How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do, but didn't do it? You had to study, finish work, eat healthy, and stay off your phone. But instead, you scrolled for an hour, binged on snacks, or told yourself, today's a cheat day. I'll start again tomorrow. And that tomorrow, it just never came. The issue isn't laziness. It's not even a lack of willpower. What you're dealing with is neuroscience. It's the battle between two parts of your brain. One is the primitive brain. It craves comfort, pleasure, and instant rewards. The other is your prefrontal cortex, the logical part that sees the bigger picture, makes long-term decisions, and knows what's best for you. Here's the catch. When you're tired, stressed, bored, or overwhelmed, the primitive brain takes over. It whispers, "Just skip it today. You've earned a break." And that's exactly when the war between discipline and distraction begins. Sadly, most of the time, we lose. But Chapter 4 explains something powerful. Self-control isn't a magic switch. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, it needs daily training. Every time you say no to that unnecessary craving, every time you push through resistance, every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you're building that muscle. You strengthen it every time you stop yourself from picking up your phone for no reason. Every time you do the thing your lazy brain wants to avoid, whether it's a workout, reading, writing, or even cleaning your space, you're training your mental muscles. But on the flip side, if you constantly give in to comfort, that muscle weakens, and the cycle of distraction starts all over again. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Your environment plays a massive role in self-control. If your surroundings are full of distractions, a messy room, a phone in sight, constant notifications, even the strongest willpower will lose. Because your environment drains your energy without you even noticing. That's why discipline is not just a personal decision, it's also a system. So be smart. Create that system. Design your space to help you win. Keep your environment clean. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Use tools like timers, reminders, and routines. Set things up so that the right choice becomes the easiest one. Chapter 4 teaches us something crucial. You can't win with motivation alone. You need to understand how your brain works, accept its limitations, and then create systems that support your strengths. Self-control isn't a superpower, it's a strategy. And once you master that strategy, you'll no longer be a slave to your impulses. You'll finally become the master of your own life. So ask yourself honestly, are you losing to your impulses every time? Do distractions control your day more than your intentions do? If so, it's time to train your brain. Build that mental muscle, and more importantly, build an environment that supports your goals. Because only when your mind is in control can your life be too. Chapter 5. Mastering the morning. Discipline takes root deep inside. And yeah, waking up early isn't easy. Sleep pulls you back, the bed calls out, and excuses are ready to roll. But every time you step out of that comfort zone, every time you push yourself to rise before the world, you're not just winning time, you're winning over yourself. Your morning routine sends a message. I'm ready. I'm serious. I'm committed to my dreams. So from today, stop seeing mornings as just a time block. Start seeing them as your transformation zone. Because here's the truth that Chapter 5 leaves us with. How you spend your morning sets the tone for your entire day. And how you live each day shapes your entire future. So it's not about how busy you are. It's about your priorities. Do you treat the first hour of your day like the most valuable part of your life? Because the one who masters their morning masters their life. Chapter 6. The discipline of saying no. How many times has this happened? You're tired, drained, overwhelmed. And then someone asks for your time, your help, your attention. And even when every part of you wants to say no, you say yes anyway. And then it hits you. You feel exhausted, frustrated, and worst of all, disappointed in yourself. Why? Because in trying to please others, you keep losing little pieces of yourself. That's the hidden truth. Discipline isn't just about what you start doing, it's also about what you stop doing. Saying no is not rude. It's wisdom. It's a skill, a superpower. But yes, it comes with a cost, because the moment you say no, guilt may show up. People may question you. You may fear rejection or being seen as selfish. But here's the twist. Every time you say yes to others when you meant no, you're saying no to yourself. You're delaying your growth, your rest, and your goals. You're scattering your energy into things that don't align with your purpose. And slowly, that internal resentment builds. That's why this chapter teaches something powerful. Boundaries are not walls. They're filters. They help protect your time, your energy, and your focus. Discipline means you don't say yes out of guilt, pressure, or habit. You say yes because it's aligned, and when it's not, you protect your space with a calm, confident no. So ask yourself, what are you tolerating that's draining you? What do you keep saying yes to even though it's hurting your peace? Every yes should be intentional. Everyone should be respectful, but both should be decisions made by you, not by pressure, not by fear, and not by guilt. Because the more you say no to distractions, obligations, and people who don't align with your growth, the more you say yes to yourself. How many times have you wanted to say no, but didn't? Maybe you were afraid of what they'd think, afraid of hurting someone's feelings, or maybe you didn't want to look selfish. So instead of honoring your truth, you said yes again. And while on the outside it looked like you were being helpful, kind, and agreeable, inside, you were slowly burning out. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to yourself. So really, who are you fooling? Saying no isn't just about setting boundaries. It's about protecting your purpose. It's about valuing your energy. Discipline isn't only about action, it's also about elimination. It's knowing exactly what feeds your energy and what drains it. It's being crystal clear on who builds you up and who slowly tears you down. And once you start saying no to every meaningless distraction, every unnecessary commitment, every feel-good now but regret later invite, something incredible happens. You create space, space for what truly matters, space for growth, clarity, peace. A powerful life is never built on random yeses. It's built on intentional, focused no's. Chapter 6 teaches us a simple, life-shifting idea. Saying no is not rude. It's clarity. It's confidence. It's maturity. It's knowing that your time is limited, your energy is not infinite, and that constantly being available for everyone will eventually make you unavailable for your own goals, dreams, and well-being. Sure, it's uncomfortable in the moment. Real peace doesn't come from being agreeable. It comes from alignment. Saying no when you need to, even if your voice shakes. So the next time someone asks something of you, pause and ask yourself, by saying yes here, am I saying no to my own growth? Because every time you say no to what doesn't align, you say yes to what does. You say yes to your health. You say yes to your goals. You say yes to your peace. And you say yes to your direction. Discipline starts the moment you stop being available for everything. Every no becomes a brick in the foundation of your most powerful self. And remember this: those who learn to say no at the right time, they never lose themselves. They never drift. They never forget their path. Respect always comes back to you. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look in the mirror and meet a version of yourself you once thought was just a distant dream. That version isn't born from luck. It's built through choices, through courage, through discipline. So if today you feel like you've lost, if your heart feels heavy and your path looks blurry, make yourself a promise, right here, right now. I will start again. No matter how many times I fall, I will rise again. Because in the end, a winner isn't the one who never falls. It's the one who stands back up after the final fall, when no one's watching, when it would be easier to quit. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the lost from the legends. Chapter 8. Sustaining Discipline for Life. So you started. You made the decision. You built routines. You fought against distractions. You stumbled, you fell, and you got back up stronger. But now comes the biggest question of all. Can I keep this going? Can I live my whole life with this kind of clarity, commitment, and focus? Here's the truth. Discipline isn't a 21-day challenge. It's a lifelong promise. But that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. What it means is every day you wake up and choose to live with intention. You make sure your actions align with the future you want to create. And to sustain discipline over a lifetime, the first thing you need is purpose. If your why is strong enough, the how will take care of itself. Ask yourself, why do I want to be disciplined? Is it just about productivity, or is it about becoming the person I know I can be? When your purpose runs deep, discipline stops feeling like a burden. It starts to feel like fuel, a fire inside your chest. It pushes you forward on the days you feel lazy, distracted, or lost. I will to do that discipline on the fire in the blood. But fire alone isn't enough. You also need compassion. Some days you'll pause. Some days you'll mess up. And when that happens, don't punish yourself. Understand yourself. Because kindness keeps the journey alive. If you treat yourself like someone, long-term discipline needs a system. Not willpower, not hustle, systems. Systems like simple routines, sustainable habits, and an environment that protects your energy instead of draining it. But above all, what sustains discipline is when it becomes your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and you start saying, I am disciplined. It's not something you do anymore. It's who you are. And when you reach that point, your choices become clearer, faster, more consistent, because now you're living from your identity, not your mood. Life isn't a straight line. It has ups, downs, detours, and breakdowns. But if you stay consistent in the long run, if you keep your vision front and center, you won't get knocked off track by short-term emotions. Think like a marathon runner. You don't need to sprint. You just need to keep going. One small step at a time. One small win at a time. Because every little improvement compounds. Every day you show up is another brick in the legacy you're building. So no, discipline is not a destination. It's a journey. And if you commit to this journey, there is no goal too big, no dream too far, no vision too unrealistic. Because the moment you say to yourself, I'm going to live with discipline, everything changes. From that moment forward, progress becomes your habit. Excellence becomes your default. And your life? It starts moving in a whole new direction, one that's steady, clear, and unstoppable. So here we are, at the final bend of this journey. And I'll leave you with just one question. What are you going to do next? You now know that discipline begins the moment your day starts. You've seen the power of saying no. You've felt the strength that comes from getting back up. And now, you understand that real discipline isn't temporary. It's a way of life. So take everything you've learned and let it shape what comes next. Because your next chapter, that's the one that turns everything around. Discipline. It's not a short-term fix. It's not a trendy hack. It's not something you do once and forget. It's a lifelong habit. But let's be honest. Your life won't change just because of these words. Not even this video. The only thing that will change your life is you. It starts with your routine, your mindset, your identity, your decisions. Because results don't come from motivation. They come from one powerful choice, the decision to stop waiting and start doing. So ask yourself, do you want to be someone who just feels inspired or someone who acts on that inspiration? Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not loud. It won't get you applause on Instagram. Discipline is silent. It's built in early mornings, in quiet sacrifices, in all the little choices no one else sees. It's what shows up when your energy fades. It's what pushes back against your distractions. And it's what picks you back up when life knocks you down. And someday, when the world finally sees your success, when they cheer for your achievements, they'll say, wow, how did they do it? And you'll smile quietly, knowing the truth. I did the things no one else was willing to do. That's why I'm now standing where no one else has reached. So don't just finish this video. Start something with it. Start with responsibility. Start with one small promise to yourself and keep it. Cut out the noise. Get clear on your direction. Because discipline isn't about controlling your life. It's about finally taking charge of it. And if something in this video stirred something inside you, even just a little, don't let it fade. Write in the comments. Day 1 starts today. Let the world see that your new chapter has begun. And if this message reminded you of a version of yourself you may have forgotten, the focused, powerful, disciplined one, then don't stop here. Hit that like button, not for us, but for yourself. Let it be your first action, your first small win. Type, "I am disciplined," in the comments to lock in your public commitment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because here, we don't chase motivation. We build transformation. Light On, every week, we dive into powerful books, timeless ideas, and the mindset shifts that can truly reshape your life. So don't just watch, grow. Because in the end, discipline isn't just something you practice. It's who you are now. So we'll see you in the next video with a new book, new insights, and a brand new you. Thanks for watching.